call this meeting to order. This is the regular session of the Mayor and Council of the City of Bisbee, County of Cochise, and State of Arizona, to be held on Tuesday, August 6, 2019 at 7 p.m. at the City Hall Building, 915 South Tokerville Road, Bisbee, Arizona. Ms. Coronado, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Lewis Pollock.
Here.
Councilmember Joni Giacomino.
Here.
Councilmember Bill Higgins.
Here.
Mayor David M. Smith.
Present.
Councilmember Leslie Johns.
Here.
Councilmember Joan Hanson.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Anna Klein.
Here.
City Staff Teresa Coleman, City Manager Ashley Coronado, City Clerk Carrie Bagley, Finance Director, Jesus Haro, Public Works Director, Albert Chavez, Police Chief, George Castillo, Fire Chief, James Ledbetter, City Attorney.
Thank you. I'd like to start off by welcoming Ms. Teresa Coleman, our new city manager, to her first meeting. Thank you for being here with us. I'd also like to thank Mr. Jim Ledbetter, who's our new city attorney, and he's here to keep us on the straight and narrow. As well as, obviously, I really want to thank Steve Palkin for helping us through some really rough times and hiring some good people to fill the vacancies, including now his own, so, which is really the second time he's been vacant. So, in any event, thank you, sir, and sincere appreciation. Yes, I do. For tonight's invitation, I wanted to indicate something distressing, actually, that as a nation, we've actually progressed to the point where we have to define what a mass shooting is. We had a problem in Gilmore, California, a week before last, and that it wasn't classified as a mass shooting because enough people weren't killed. So a mass shooting is 4 or more deaths, not including the shooter. So for our moment of silence tonight, I would like us to consider keeping the literally hundreds of people that are affected by the 31 dead and the 51 injured in El Paso and Dayton just this last several days. I'd like us all to keep them in your thoughts and prayers as we take a moment of silence. Thank you. Would you please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I have several things. I have a proclamation that I'd like to read. And the proclamation is to the Fred G. Acosta Job Corps Center Day. Whereas over the past 40 years, the lives of thousands of youth have been forever changed by Fred G. Acosta Job Corps Center's comprehensive residential, academic, and career preparation program. And whereas with the Fred G. Acosta Job Corps Center in Tucson, Arizona, serves hundreds of youth between ages 16 and 24 years of age by providing high school diplomas and career technical education to these young men and women. And whereas, in addition to the academic and employment training, Job Corps Centers provide social skill training and other services to empower young men and women to obtain and hold a job, enroll in advanced training, enroll in college, or enter the armed forces. And whereas over the last 40 years, the Fred G. Acosta Job Corps Center has served more than 12,000 youth, of whom 95% of all youth earned industry-recognized industrial credentials, and 85% of whom entered the workforce. And whereas recent studies demonstrate significant economic gain from investment and dropout recovery by increasing employment while simultaneously reducing public expenditures associated with healthcare, crime, and social services. And whereas it is timely and appropriate that the city of Bisbee, Arizona celebrate Job Corps and its accomplishments in breaking the cycle of poverty, strengthening the local community, and improving the quality of thousands of lives. Now therefore, I, David M. Smith, Mayor, City of Bisbee, Arizona, do hereby proclaim October 11th, 2019 as Fred G. Acosta Job Corps Center Day in this city, and encourage all residents to recognize Fred G. Acosta Job Corps Center for its contributions to our community. In witness thereof, I've set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Bisbee, Arizona to be affixed this 6th day of August, 2019. David M. Smith, Mayor. And we have some representatives from the center. If you would please kindly come forward. And if I could just reach across and give this to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And sir, would you all take just a second and introduce yourselves?
Sure, we can do that.
Yes, please.
Use this mic first.
That mic can be fine, sir.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Mayor Smith. Thank you, the council members, for this opportunity and for honoring our center. It is 40 years of a lot of successes. There's been a lot of stories there that go right to the top of some real high-end success stories. And with me tonight is Samantha. She's in our program, which is of material handling and distribution and operations, like shipping and receiving. And she's about % through. You're pretty much getting through that program, aren't you? And this is Ty Shell. Ty Shell Phelps is in our Security Protection Services program, and he will finish up on an unarmed security guard level. As I was talking to your chief of police back here, that if you have young people that might want to go the law enforcement route, please get them encouraged, bring them in and get them enrolled with us. We get them ready for their work base or their internship time. We send them back to the chief, and he does the work base hours with them working with him. And if that's a match, then you pick them up, get them into the academy, and they become a police officer right here in your community, along with any of the other occupations that we align with. So here's Samantha.
My name is Samantha, and I'm currently 17 years old, and as Mr. Vaughn said, I am going through the material handling distributions trade. After Job Corps, I do plan to go to college to become a data warehouse specialist and hopefully join the Border Patrol. Job Corps has really helped me with my professional skills that I don't have much confidence that I would have learned outside of Job Corps and on my own. And they have helped me out of many situations, personally and socially, especially with battling homelessness with my mother for the past 7 years. And they have really helped me with a lot of personal and social skills with others and professionalism and a lot within myself.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ty Shell Phelps, and as Vaughn said, I am a part of the Security and Protective Services of Fred G. Acosta Job Corps, and from coming from a homeless background, I am very glad to say that this program has helped me with also my professional skills and with my very professionally trained status that I have come to. And as the Vice President of the Student Government Association, I have also looked at this board and thought, where do I sit? And I'm very glad to be here for this proclamation, and I do thank you, David,
Absolutely.
for this. And thank you very much.
And thank all of you, and the best of luck, Samantha.
I'm Vaughn Croft, introduced myself, but I'm the business community liaison at Fred J. Costa. Thank you.
Thank you. And you're welcome to stay, but you're not required. So if you need to drive back to Tucson, we understand.
I'm gonna watch some of your meeting though.
Oh, okay. All right. So that guy can decide which seat he wants. That's fine. Okay. We have Library Rhapsody by the Copper Queen Library teen team, and Allison Williams is here, as you know, with our library to introduce it.
Thank you so much, Mayor. Thank you for putting this on the agenda, Mayor, Council, city staff, and members of the public. And to you too, I'm so happy to share this. Our Bisbee youth, this year in our summer reading program, we created another program, the Teen Team, who came in every Friday all through the summer. Teens are a little bit different, as you know. We gave them the option to say what they wanted to do. What they chose to do this summer is a national it's a teen video challenge put out by the American Library Association for libraries across the country to create a 60-second public service announcement. I didn't do anything. They did it all. They wrote it, directed it, storyboarded it. They created the stop motion animation. They did the art. They did the lyrics. They did the singing. They did the shooting, the directing, and they starred in it. It's 60 seconds. That was their limit. So there was a lot more of footage, hours in fact, but they edited it down to 60 seconds. It's in a competition right now. And Mark Kelly was very nice enough to have a little cameo. So thank you so much for watching.
Can we pop the lights real
Yes.
quick?
Carrie, can you grab that one? Perfect.
Thanks, Susan.
Let me get the volume turned up. Hang on just a second.
Thank you. Allison, that's great. That's fun.
Thank you.
We're going to figure out how we can use that to its full extent. Can we get that on our website?
Sure. Absolutely.
Please.
Mhm.
All right, under announcements, I wanted to discuss, as will be clear why I'm doing this, but what I've been doing since the last meeting. And so on the 17th, I attended a IBISBE committee meeting where we discussed ongoing marketing strategies and things that affect BISBE in an attempt to raise tax dollars. On the 18th, I met with our pro bono grants writers and discussed ongoing future grant opportunities as well as the present grant opportunities, particularly in the fire suppression systems in Old Bisbee and in our public safety communications. And on the 18th, I represented the city and spoke at the Tucson Hispanic Chamber Informational Mixer, which took place here in Bisbee. And we had quite a few people actually sign up as members of that chamber, so we're hoping that it can be activated within Bisbee. But they certainly have monthly events in Douglas and in Sierra Vista, as well as Tucson and Nogales. As a result of that, I was contacted today by a member of the Douglas City Council, who is a member of the Hispanic Chamber and wants to talk to us about, in the entertainment area, setting up a, not a rivalry, but a music weekend in which our performers go to Douglas to certain venues and their performers come to Bisbee to certain venues. And as a trade-off, kind of a fun thing other than just a football game. And on the 18th, I also met with our county administrator and Supervisor Ann English to discuss ongoing city-county relationships and IGAs. On the 25th, I met with 2 members of the council to discuss better council and mayor communications. And as a result of that meeting and requests, it was requested that I report as I am so that the council would have a better idea about maybe upcoming things and what's in the hopper, as they would say. On the 27th, I, at the request of the Mexican consulate, attended the back-to-school supplies gathering at Safeway Plaza, and it was great, by the way. And I represented the city there and walked around with the Mexican consulate and spoke to people. And our fire department did a great job there, by the way, Chief. The apparatus looked good, the kids loved it, the parents loved it, of course. I'm sorry, the helicopter beat you out, but nevertheless, it was good. Yesterday, I delivered a proclamation for National Health Clinic Week at Chiricahua's New Bisbee Clinic at the ribbon cutting ceremony on Arizona Street. And what a beautiful facility. It's really something we should be proud of. And then today I met with Bisbee Unified School District Superintendent Tom Woody, and we discussed the Melody Lane Park IGA and some future joint opportunities that may be coming up. So that's basically what, we've got a bunch of things coming up that both the city manager and myself will be attending, including we're going to have a joint bi-national meeting here in City Hall, right here in our meeting space, on Monday the 24th. Does that sound right? 26? 26. Thank you. And so we're going to have the mayors of Naco here, Sierra Vista, as well as Douglas and Nava Prieta, at least, will be coming. And interestingly enough, this is at the request of the mayor of Naco Sonora at her behest. So we're putting this together so that we can all get together. So that's what's coming up. And obviously, people are welcome to those types of activities also, certainly the council. And we'll make sure that a potential quorum is noted. So with that, finally, we're going to call to the public. We have one person signed up. And let me first of all indicate, bless whoever. Item number 5 is, I'm pulling item number 5. It's not ready. And it will be hopefully on the next agenda, which is the Monday, the 19th, thank you. Instead of Tuesday, the 20th, it's Monday, the 19th, because Tuesday is the start of the League of Cities and Towns, and we wouldn't have a quorum. So we're doing it Monday. And we'll send out notices again. So we have one person to call to the public, and that would be Aaron Williams.
Allison.
Allison Williams. Allison, you can write that in there.
Full disclosure, if I'd been a boy, my father was going to name me Aaron, so.
Oh, okay.
I'm Allison Williams, Program Coordinator at the Copper Queen Library, and although we have many things coming up as usual, and we're getting ready for the Haunted Library, our second annual, really I just wanted to share some gratitude just tonight. First of all, Mr. Pocken, on behalf of the library, we want to thank you for coming back to Bisbee in your retirement and being our interim city manager and serving us so well and going through the budget. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Teresa, welcome. Welcome to Bisbee. We are so happy to have you here and to have come to the library and everywhere in our city, and just I hope you feel welcome in our community, and thank you for taking the helm. And Chief Castillo, thank you so much for our end of the summer pool party and barbecue. This year, our fire chief and his firemen and volunteers all came to barbecue for our party, which was a lot of people, and the union sponsored the meat. And the meat came from, I believe, a butcher in Douglas, and it was delicious. And we had veggie burgers, and we had the high school band. And I just really want to thank you for coming and sharing your warmth and hospitality. So that's all. Thank you all.
Thank you. I'll move on to general business. Under general business, item number 1 is accounts payable.
I move that we pay accounts payable in the amount of $388,871.67.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion. We have a second. We have discussion. Ms. Klein.
On page 3, we have the water bill for City Hall. Is that the last of our big bills for this?
Yes, it is, and I'm surprised we still have one.
I was wondering about that. I thought we were done.
Well, you know how quickly Arizona Water gets about the business of everything.
So is there a suggestion that we were erroneously charged? That it wasn't, that the bill doesn't reflect the correct cutoff date?
Well, we can check on that. I'm pretty sure it's accurate as presented. It just takes a little while.
Sure.
And quite frankly, they removed the 6-inch meter from the site out front here. That was a $600 base charge. And then I'm thinking, I don't know this for sure, but I'm thinking that the 2-inch meter that was at the cemetery doing nothing got placed over here. And so all that took some time, and it was still in July when they were making those changes. So we can double check with Arizona Water if you like. But,
Well, I'm sure.
But this should, Ms. Klein, this should be the absolute last time you see it.
Okay, good. And then on page 4, and this is for Chief Chavez, on the uniforms, there's a uniform there, expenditure for DeFord. Is that a typo and it's for DeFord? Since DeFord is no longer with us?
Well, he's still with us as a reserve officer.
Oh, is okay.
Yes, so we still have 3 reserve officers. I don't have that in front of me, so I'm not exactly sure what it is or how much it was for.
It was just uniforms, but I
Okay.
didn't know if it was
Yeah,
type
no,
of
he is still on,
Okay.
and he's still pulling shifts for us in a part-time capacity, as well as Officer Montgomery and Officer Smith.
Oh, okay. Very good.
Right, it shouldn't be, so I'll have to look into that to see if that's an issue there.
Okay.
Okay.
And then, the last item I have is on page 8, for Arizona Water, for Grassy Park, we have $1,137.75 water bill. Do we know why it's so high?
Mr. Harrell?
I'm not aware of any issues with Grassy Park. I suspect the Parks Department didn't notify me of any water leaks or anything. It is nice and
I was just
It better
wondering.
be.
It is awfully high.
We'll check it.
As well as the, West Vista too.
I'm sorry.
You know, but I
As
did
well
have
as
West
West
Vista
Vista's
too.
2002, yeah, also.
2,600 for West Vista as well.
I think that's comparable to last year, right before the 4th of July. They get water in the park.
And the slides and all.
And for the event.
Okay.
Oh,
And the picture.
Mr. Higgins?
Yeah, Gore Park, we have a water bill for Gore Park, and the bathroom hasn't been operating, and the drinking fountain hasn't been operating either one for some time, was my understanding. I don't know where they're using water there, maybe to water the plants or something?
They do use the water for the plants. The parts for the water fountain and the bathrooms supposedly are on order. The company that we're using is taking forever.
Thank you, sir. Any other?
Yeah, I have one other question.
Yes.
It's in that water also with Lower East Vista, it says the bathroom for $595. Is that just the bathroom, or is that also watering that's included? Because what it's stated as Lower East Vista and Tenor bathroom. So does that include watering, or is that just the bathroom? Because if it's just the bathroom, it's almost $600. And that seems kind of high for just bathrooms.
I would assume that's more than just a bathroom. I don't think we have an independent water meter for the bathroom.
Anyone else? Do we have a motion?
We already did. You
You
already
already
have
have
your
the
motion.
I wanted another one.
Okay.
I didn't like it.
You didn't like the first one?
Ms. Coronado?
Councilmember Pollock,
Aye.
Councilmember Giacomino,
Aye.
Councilmember Higgins,
Aye.
Councilmember Johns,
Aye.
Councilmember Hanson,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Klein,
aye.
Mayor Smith.
Aye, motion passes unanimously. Moving on to the consent agenda, we have items A through N. Item A, approval of the minutes of the regular session of mayor and council held on June 16, 2019 at 7 p.m. B, approval of the appointment of Danielle Bouchevet to the Charter Review Committee. C, approval of the appointment of Thomas Holes to the Charter Review Committee. D, approval of the appointment of Sean Hicks to the Charter Review Committee. E, approval of the appointment of Boyd Nickel to the Charter Review Committee. F, approval of the appointment of William Crowe to the Charter Review Committee. G, approval of the appointment of Fred Miller to the Charter Review Committee. H, approval of the appointment of Dwayne Doan to the Charter Review Committee. I, approval of the appointment of Juanita Hill to the Charter Review Committee. J, approval of the appointment of Bill Bailey to the Parks and Recreation Committee. K, approval of a park facility and right-of-way use permit for Spike LLC for the filming of the independent feature film Spike in and around the city of Bisbee, August 19, 2019 through August 23, 2019. L, approval of a park facility and right-of-way use permit for Lourdes Hunter for the use of Gore Park for the Bisbee Pirates of the High Desert on Saturday, August 10th, 2019 from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. M, approval of a liquor license application for the Bisbee Breakfast Club located at 75A Erie Street, Bisbee, Arizona. Christopher Reese applicant. N, approval of a liquor license application for the Pizza House located at 1422 Highway 92, San Jose Estates, Bisbee, Arizona. Erica Meyer applicant. Council, does any member wish any of these pulled for further discussion? Hearing none, I entertain a motion.
I move that we approve the consent agenda items A through N. Second.
Do we have a motion? We have a second. All those in favor of approving consent agenda items A through N, signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nay. Hearing none, motion passes unanimously. New business, item number 3. Discussion of possible approval to have Hodges Glass Company, Inc. replace the City Hall door and repair the door to the council chambers. Ms. Coronado? Thank you all very, very much. You're welcome anytime.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Before you tonight is a request to engage Hodges Glass to repair and replace our doors, both in this building and the main building. I don't know if any of you have noticed how ridiculously heavy that door is at the main building. It would make them ADA compliant as well. So we did get 2 price quotes, and Hodges Glass came in at the lowest.
And we've actually smacked a couple of residents coming with those doors being
Kind
so
of
heavy.
dangerous, yes. So we need to, they're gonna take out both doors and put
Right.
one big door there.
Right, so it's actually a safety issue
Yes.
also. Any questions, council?
It's needed.
Yeah. Is it needed enough for a motion?
Absolutely.
All right.
I move to have Hodges Glass Company Incorporated replace the city hall door and repair the door to the council chambers.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. And all those in favor, signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. I'm sorry, opposed, say nay. Hearing none, motion carried unanimously. Item number 4, discussion of possible approval for an agreement with Granicus, I guess, for peak agenda management software. Ms. Coronado, finally, this is on the agenda.
Very excited to bring this forward. This is the agenda management software that we've been requesting for a couple years now. This is going to streamline the agenda process, make it a whole lot easier, not only for our office, but to ensure that our attorney has reviewed the items, the city manager has reviewed the items. We've checked out a few different companies, and this one seems to offer a whole lot more than some of the others. We have unlimited users. We're able to use this for all boards and commissions, so it's going to streamline it for a whole lot of people, making the job a lot easier.
How's the learning curve?
They're going to do free training, so that'll be great.
All right. So with the boards and commissions, Ms. Coronado, is that something you can actually get members of boards and commissions to come to and
We'll
plan to?
actually probably train the staff liaisons.
Okay, train
Because they're the ones
everything.
who are doing and preparing the agendas.
Sure. Okay, great. Council, any questions?
No question, just a comment.
Yes, ma'am?
I'm glad you're finally getting your sons.
Me too.
She keeps spending that line item for other departments.
She's very generous.
All right, may I have a motion?
I move to approve the agreement with Granicus for peak agenda management software.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion, we have a second. And Ms. Coronado, why don't you call the roll for me, please?
Councilmember Pollock?
Aye.
Councilmember Giacominno?
Aye.
Councilmember Higgins?
Aye.
Councilmember Johns?
Aye.
Councilmember Hanson?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Klein?
Aye.
Mayor Smith?
Aye, the motion passes unanimously.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. How long does it take to get here?
Oh, I'm gonna call them tomorrow morning.
Bet you are. Item number 6, discussion of possible approval to enter into a service agreement with, I don't know, iWork?
Yes.
Cool. Systems to provide government software solutions. Mr. Haro, Public Works Director.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. With this agenda item, I'm requesting that the city of Bisbee enter into a service agreement with iWork. iWork, what they do to provide government solutions. With this, I would like to start with the Public Works application and services. What that will include is work management, work order software, sign management, and pavement management. Both of those are asset management aspects of the software. With that, we are also getting the citizen engagement application that we're accustomed to right now with SeeClickFix. My intent is for this software to replace SeeClickFix. SeeClickFix does a decent job at citizen engagement. It does a decent job at work orders, but has zero asset management aspect to it. With this, the Public Works Department will better be able to manage our assets, sign and pavement, and we'll be able to better plan our budget and prioritize which projects need to be completed. Currently, we have no asset software management within Public Works, so this is where I want to start. Eventually, I would like to, down the road, add more for our sewer collection system. Like I mentioned, this will replace, I intend for this to replace SeeClickFix. The cost is very comparable. We did evaluate two other software management government solutions, but this one is is very robust. It's one of the most robust, and the price was lower than the other one that was very comparable.
Excellent. When does the agreement with SeeClickFix terminate?
I was under the impression it ended last Friday, but I believe it ends this Friday.
Okay. All right. So this is fairly timely.
Yes, and I've been in contact with iWork, and they are prepared to get the work order portion of the RPAT software up and going within a day or two. So
Excellent.
we shouldn't have any issue.
Excellent. All right. Do we have any questions, Councilman?
I just
Yes,
have a
ma'am.
comment. With all of the paving that we have been doing here recently in the last 5 years, the management of that and keeping them maintained, this is going to be perfect. I mean, it's very, very timely in that regard. And I think that we're silly not to do this because we're pouring so much money into the pavement.
Yes, with the software, we'll be able to better show how we're spending those types of things.
And what maintenance is required, when it's required, what streets.
Do we have a motion?
I move to enter into a service agreement with iWork Systems to provide government software solutions.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Ms. Coronado?
Councilmember Pollock,
Aye.
Councilmember Giacomino,
Aye.
Councilmember Higgins,
Aye.
Councilmember Johns,
Aye.
Councilmember Hanson,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Klein,
Aye.
Mayor Smith.
Aye, motion passes unanimously. Item number 7, discussion of possible approval of the professional services agreement for marketing and design services. Ms. Coleman?
So you did receive responses to your request for proposals. They were not all kind of cookie cutter or come in exactly the same. I am recommending the proposal, thank you, the proposal that came in at a flat fee annually. It'll allow you to control your cost there, to be within your budget for that item. I also understand that members of this firm do have experience in your community and have provided quality product for you in the past.
Thank you. Questions, council? Thank you. Hearing none,
I move to approve a professional services agreement for marketing and design with the Dog, Cat, Mouse Media LLC. Just with the name, I mean, we have to go with this one.
Second.
we have a motion, we have a second. Ms. Coronado?
Councilmember Pollock,
Aye.
Councilmember Giacomino,
Aye.
Councilmember Higgins,
Aye.
Councilmember Johns,
Aye.
Councilmember Hanson.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Klein.
Aye.
Mayor Smith.
Aye, motion passes unanimously. Item number 8, possible approval of a motion to go into executive session for the purpose of discussion and consultation with attorney regarding open meeting law complaints per ARS 38-431-01, paren A 2 and 3. Mr. Ledbetter, City Attorney.
Thank you, Mayor, members of council. I recommend we go into executive session. I drafted responses on behalf of the city, but obviously I need to have your approval or consent with respect to the content of what my responses would be. So I'll need consultation and legal direction from you in that regard.
Thank you, sir. Do we have a motion?
I move that we enter into executive session for the purpose of discussion and consultation with attorney to review answers to open meeting law complaints per ARS 38-41.03A23.
Second?
And for clarification, 38-431.01A 2 and 3, please.
Right, I was just going to reread. Okay, thank you, sir. All those in favor of going into executive session under that statute signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. I'm sorry, opposed, say no. We are in executive session.
Ashley?
Signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried unanimously. Item number 9, discussion of possible direction regarding the responses to the Attorney General on the open meeting law complaints. Mr. Ledbetter.
Thank you, Mayor, council members. It'd be appropriate for the council to just direct me to act consistently with the direction I received in executive session.
Excellent. Please do follow that direction.
I will do so.
We have item number 10, City Manager's Report. And we will start with our City Manager.
Excellent. Well, first I just want to thank everyone for a warm welcome. And then in addition to some of the venues that I've already been present at, on Saturday, August 10th at 10 a.m., I will be at the Mule Mountain Democrats meeting at the Community Y, if anyone would want to meet me there. Sunday, August 11th at 3 p.m., I'll be at the Stuff Up Bisbee NACO fundraiser at Roca. Thursday, August 15th at 4 p.m., I'll have an office hour at the Copper Queen Library. I bring the agenda to the agenda and packet to the library, and anyone who has questions can discuss that with me then. And then Thursday, August 29th at 5:30, the Friends of the Bisbee Animal Shelter are having a fundraiser at POCO, and I will be present for that fundraiser as well.
Thank you. Any questions? We don't have questions. All right. Thank you. It's interesting because Ms. Coleman has been here a short time, and I'm getting Teresa sightings all over Ward 1 particularly. We saw the city manager. She came in and introduced herself. So that's great. Thank you for that.
Thank you for the warm welcome. I appreciate it.
Mr. Plotkin.
Thank you. I don't really have anything to report this evening, but I'd ask the mayor for a moment of privilege to recap the short period of time that I've been here. And I want to start out by saying that I never expected a phone call back in February. Not that it doesn't happen, but that because I've only been in retirement since January 4th, that it was cramping my style a little bit, but it's come to be what Big calls the labor of love. And I do get choked up in my old age, so sometimes. But I just want you to know that I was privileged that those of you who thought of me convinced me that this was an assignment that I should take, despite, don't do that to me, despite the fact that The last thing I really wanted to do was go back to work. You know, I was briefed on what was happening and what had happened with the previous city manager and maybe city managers, and thought that if there was anything I could do to make that better, that I had an obligation to try. So I want to say that there were two things primarily that we agreed that I should do while I was here. One of which was to find a good city manager. We did. Okay, I'm walking out the door 100% convinced that you've got the best city manager in the United States right now. Okay.
No pressure.
And I don't mean that as pressure, I mean it as a compliment. A compliment to her, certainly a compliment to you, because you chose her, okay? All I did was go through a process, okay? You made the decision, and I think it was a very good one that you made. Along the way, you know, we also picked up Jesus Haro, his new sidekick, Matt Gurney, who was here already, but was elevated to a place where he should be. I have to also give due respect to my good friend Alonis Mechanic, who came back in the absence of a visitor center manager, regardless of what Fred calls it, because she'd done it for 20 years. She was very good at it, despite what he thinks, and she's over there every day doing it, okay? And I don't care who thinks marketing is the greatest thing since sliced bread. When a visitor comes to Bisbee, we need to be there to say hello and show them where they can go and what they can do. And that should never change. I don't care what expert tells you differently, okay? So now we don't have that visitor center manager yet, but we will very shortly. It's being advertised and it's closing fairly soon. And of course, you agreed to the contract tonight for the marketing piece, so that's done. And Joelle Landers, another current city employee, who was of immense help to me as we went through the process of hiring all these people, because you really need someone not that can just help you with HR, but knows HR well enough to keep you out of trouble doing HR. That helped earn her a new job with the city. And I know that further exacerbates Carrie's issues, because now I took one more person away from her, she's got hired. And, but I feel confident that we're going to continue to do it that way. The other thing that you asked me to do was to help bring the budget, okay? Okay, that wasn't so hard, okay? Carrie's very good at what she does, okay? I don't know how often that gets said out loud, but that is the case.
Not often enough.
Not often enough. You're absolutely right, John. And so I think what you have today is an excellent core of people who know what they're doing and can move this city forward as you take on your new challenges, as your new days come. And lastly, because it's a place that Teresa has come to love very quickly, I also want to say that I did absolutely nothing to help Jason or Allison at the library. They have done it themselves. And after a 5-year absence, it is impossible not to recognize the absolute first-class library that you have. And it's not because of the buildings you have, and it's not because of the books or the library or the videos that you have. It's because of the people who interface with our folks every day, and it's priceless. It really is. I really feel that has been a very good feature under limited circumstances that you've been able to do. I want to say a couple things that I said when I first got here, okay, because they bear repeating, they bear reminding, okay? We operate under a charter, and it's a council manager form of government, okay? Many of you and I have had that conversation individually and collectively, and also with the staff. And we started out 21 weeks ago, because I took 2 weeks off, recognizing that we had to respect the council manager form of government, okay? That's equally important now. It will be equally important a year from now. That's an institution in our nation, and that's the reason that municipal governments have been allowed to grow and thrive and be the go-to government that everybody thinks of first, and not your state government, not your federal government, because they don't have the opportunity to operate the way you do, and because of that, they don't do it nearly as well. Respect it, live with it, think about it every day, read your charter, don't have to put it on your pillow, but read your charter, okay? Even I had to read your charter a couple times when I was coming back, so I was clear on the differences between that one and the one I was working with. So you need to do that. You need to respect your city manager, okay? That should go without saying, but I'm gonna say it anyway, okay? I had days here when I was not respected, okay? It didn't matter whether I agreed with you or you agreed with me, we still have to agree to respect one another. I left because I wasn't respected as a city manager 5.5 years ago, okay? You don't want that to happen again, okay? This young lady has all the tools. She has all the tools, okay? All she needs is a little bit of help and a lot of respect, and she's gonna take you places, okay? And then the last thing, because I think we talked about this a little bit too when I first got here, and we need to keep remembering this too. You are not a financially well-endowed community. You weren't the whole time I was here before. You aren't today, and the chances are pretty good next year you probably aren't going to be either, if I could speak for my finance director. It is who we are, okay? We pay the bills, we balance the budget every year, we struggle every year. We had a struggle this spring, okay? We had to have an extra sessions because we went too far and we had to pull back a little bit. And I know from working with city councils for 35 years and others in a position to spend money, that balancing that budget is always somebody else's problem. But it's our job to spend it, okay? It's our job to do one more thing. It's our job because the community wants it or the community needs it. It doesn't matter how much you think the community wants or think the community needs. When you hit the end of the road, you stop, okay? Every year for the last 25 out of the last 35 years anyway, I heard requests from people that I had to say no to, okay? One of the tools Teresa has is she has the ability to say no, okay? I've already seen it. And that should be respected, okay? If anybody knows what you can and cannot do with your budget as it's being formed, okay, it's gonna be your city manager, okay? There's nothing more they need to do than do that for the first couple of months of the year. And we'll deal with the department heads without interference, as the charter says, by any elected official to make sure that that budget is fair to everyone and within the bounds that that we have set for us by the amount of money we get. So I don't want to dwell on that too long. I've already spent too much time on it. I want to tell you, it's been fun, okay? I didn't think it was going to be fun, okay? And when I told you 21 weeks ago that the time would go like that, it did, okay? But I think at the end of this period of time that we can all look back on it and say we did a lot in a hurry, okay? Because we could, okay? I want to thank you all individually, because you have shown great confidence in me and the staff. You've shown great respect. I want that to continue with your new city manager, okay? I know you will, okay? One of the things I told a couple of you when I first got here was, I want you to get used to liking doing things together, okay? And I think you will. So on that note, I'm finished. My job is finished, okay? I don't want to be called back. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Buck and Mr. Harlow.
Good evening once again, Mayor, members of the council. So the end of last month, I received a letter that I thought would be appropriate to read today. It says, "Dear Mr. Harlow, we would like to tell you how appreciative we are of Josh White. Because of him, the pool has been clean and functioning very well this season. Additionally, we are pleased to have swim lessons and water aerobic classes. Given his many public work duties, he has always been responsive, communicative, and pleasant. Please let him know how much he is valued. Thank you, Cato Daly, for the Friends of the Bisbee Pool."
Thank you, sir. That's a great positive note to end this meeting. Do we have a motion, Mr.
I
Evans?
move that we adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Those in favor of adjournment, signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Stand adjourned.